Good morning, South. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance with new faculty members.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll hear more from them later in the show. Good morning once again, and welcome to the Falcon Report for this Friday, the 28th of April, a day 2. I'm Angel Schultz.
And I'm Shalini Manbo. Although Earth Week was last Saturday, the celebration of our planet truly kicked off this week. We bring in the Falcon Report's David Providence for the story.
This past week, South celebrated Earth Week with the Science Honor Society hosting a multitude of activities in celebration of this year's butterfly theme. The Science Honor Society kicked off this week by flooding the halls with Earth Week-related songs. Furthermore, everyone was encouraged to wear a flower print shirt and change their laptop's background to their favorite butterfly in order to show their love for the environment. The festivities continued into Tuesday, with tie-dye taking place after school, as well as the making of origami butterflies during lunch periods. Students also dressed like a biome in which they would find their favorite butterflies in. On Wednesday, faculty members and students alike dressed up like butterflies, wearing vibrant colors. Continuing the celebration of the Earth, students gathered to host a cleanup of the community on Thursday. For the Falcon Report, I'm David Providence.
This past week marked South's annual service week, in which students and staff uplifted one another by participating in various community-oriented activities. As the week progressed, clubs, honor societies, and class councils organized an array of positive and lighthearted events in order to truly promote South's motto, "Small acts of kindness make a big difference." The class of 2025 hosted a school garden bed litter removal activity. The Science Honor Society, Project Green, and Language Honor Society took part in a community cleanup, with class of 2023 simultaneously holding a mill pond cleanup. Additionally, certain clubs had events that lasted the entire week. Overall, it was a successful week, showing that small acts of kindness are far more impactful than we realize.
Although Mr. Mastroda's AP US History classes have finished learning the curriculum for the year, they still got one final task to complete. The 11th grade AP US History students have entered review mode, utilizing the last 2 weeks before the exam to complete individual and team presentations on each unit of the course curriculum, with the goal of acing the exam. Students also led the class in a guided analysis of a document-based question prompt focused on the period of history they have.
Justify the actions of the South on slavery, stating how it was the U.S. cash crop.
Furthermore, the sources, historical context, intended audience, purpose, and point of view were analyzed in order to provide students with a more complex understanding of the time period and given source. Clearly, these presentations will leave students in a prepared, confident position for the upcoming exam.
Both the science and mathematics departments have been home to see some new faces in the building.
This week, the Falcon Report's Emily Knofter had the chance to get to know these additions to the South family.
Emily?
I'm joined now with one of South's newest additions, Mr. Barkin. So, how are you enjoying South so far?
I am absolutely loving my time here. My fellow teachers, the students, the administration, everyone's treated me so nicely. I feel amazingly welcomed.
So far, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here. It's very, very nice to be here. I love everybody who I've encountered, all my students, and all the teachers that I've been grateful to work with.
So what classes are you teaching?
I'm teaching Regents Physics and 7th grade Science.
Right now, I'm teaching 7th grade math and 8th grade advanced algebra 1. I also teach the after-school New York State math assessment review right now.
And what are you looking forward to in the future here at South?
Well, right now, I'm looking forward to giving 7th graders a solid foundation of science to build on as they go through the Regents courses. For physics, I'm looking to establish a real hands-on dynamic for everybody where we're not just reading stuff or just doing problems out of a book. We're building stuff and making stuff happen and seeing how stuff works. That's how real science happens.
In the near future, I'm looking forward to all of my students doing really well on their finals. As far as the future, I'm hoping that I could come back next year and maybe start coaching some sports.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell us so that South can get to know you more?
Well, besides being a bit of a nerdy science teacher, I'm also something of a comic book guy. Since in high school I had a job in a comic book shop and got me hooked. In my spare time, I like doing things like running marathons and triathlons, things like that.
I actually graduated from South myself, so I'm a South alumni. It's very nice to be back working now with teachers who I have had in the past, so it's nice to be here. It's very exciting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Back to you in the studio.
When the Falcon Report returns, we'll talk much more about the annual Science Symposium. But first, a bird's eye view of Cheese Bus Fun. The Falcon Report will be right back.
Well, it's not Earth Day.
Come together, y'all. Let's go.
There are many ways we can take care of our Earth. Together we can finally show her how much she is worth. But there is only one place that all of us call home. It is this pale blue dot of ours that we freely roam. We can take our cans and put them into a different bin and buy things with less packaging. To score another win. Simple things like less paper waste. Stops pollution's haste. Allowing all to view.
So essentially, what Rajiv does is wash.
Rajiv is a pro. Top in his game, best in the industry at washing. He washes everything.
Do not wash. Wash. Wash.
I wish he'd wash something productive though, like, dirty things or cars maybe. More people should be like Rajiv, especially this Sunday at the senior car wash.
To celebrate the work of the district's student researchers, South High School hosted the recent Science Research Symposium. Kevin Trischler has the details.
I'm here in South Hall where the Science Symposium is underway. This Wednesday, the district's student researchers gathered at South to showcase their years of work. Walking in with music from the chamber orchestra, parents, administrators, faculty, and other intrigued researchers walked around South Hall. After opening remarks and the Pledge of Allegiance, the science research teachers from North, Central, and South High School presented awards to the senior students. Each school's seniors took the stage to showcase their research done.
Previous figure, this depression score is calculated by taking...
From religion and mental health to fruit flies, each student had a diverse set of findings that exemplified their hard work in the science research program.
Every year is my favorite class. But this year, honestly, the truth is, they're great. And I'm very, very proud.
For the Falcon Report, I am Kevin Trischler.
The weather has been consistent this week, with clouds and a few appearances by the sun.
To find out whether we'll have more sunlight this weekend, we turn it over to Ethan Ali.
Ethan?
Thanks, guys. I'm sorry to say that it doesn't look like we'll see more of Mr. Sun this weekend. Temperatures in the high 50s and cloudy skies today will make sure for some dreary conditions. Saturday, we'll see a high chance of precipitation with wind throughout the day. Temperatures will not warm up until Sunday, however, where we'll see more rain and clouds. Sunday's forecast looks quite similar to Saturday's, with a slight chance of early morning sunshine. Let's hope the weather for the return of the school on Monday will clear up for a bright start to the week. Back to you in the studio.
The softball team has been softening the competition, winning match after match.
Graciela Alvarez brings the details.
Graciela?
The varsity softball team has been powering through their conference with a series of statement-making wins. Their game against the Friends Academy Quakers last Thursday was no exception. After the Falcons plated 3 in the bottom of the first, Friends came back for 6 runs in the top of the second. That's when senior Sarah Rizzo stepped up. Her incredible pitching held the Quakers to only a single run for the rest of the game as she struck out 10. Meanwhile, the Falcons broke out in the bottom of the second with a 10-run attack featuring singles by Julia Candelario, Sarah Rizzo, Alexi Peets, and Tatiana Rosello, and a home run by Trinity Smiley. Olivia Lane had a single as well, and Kalela Martin drew a walk every time she stepped up to the plate. The Falcons left no doubt in anyone's minds that they were a superior team and wound up with a 24-6 victory. And that's sports.
That's all for this edition of the Falcon Report. For Shalini Manbove, I'm Anjul Schultz.
Have a great weekend, South. Hey, have you been studying for the APs?
No, when's APs?
Next week? Ha 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 ha.